Welcome to PopCast. This is a mini episode with Lewis Dodge, the creator of the LumaYo, or LumaYo, and we're going to talk about this new invention and the upcoming Kickstarter project, which might actually be live at the moment you're watching this here video. Lewis, how are you?
Hey, doing great.
Cool. So let's hear, before we hear about the LumaYo, I want to hear about how you got into yo-yoing.
Yeah, so I started yo-yoing about 2006. I was actually just walking through the grocery store, saw a mosquito for sale. Just thought it looked like fun, bought it, and here we are. I stopped for a little while, but started back up around 2012.
And we have to be clear, a mosquito is the name of a yo-yo.
Right, it's a Duncan mosquito.
Yeah.
Was the first one I started with.
That's a good starter yo-yo for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Better than the butterfly, I think, but...
So you picked up a mosquito, a Duncan mosquito at a flea market, right?
Right.
And kind of got into it and fell out of love. What brought you back into it?
So yeah, I started actually going to EDM concerts and festivals, and I guess you call them raves, around 2012, and just started. There's a big flow art scene. I don't know if you've been to any of those shows or not, but people spin poi, hula hoop, and all that sort of thing. And I was like, well, I want my yo-yo to glow in the dark, so got back on it and started watching some Andre Boulay videos, and so started putting light kits on my yo-yo and glow sticks and all that kind of thing, but nothing really cut it. And I was just determined to make something that would really stand out and glow pretty bright and kind of address the issues that I saw with all the current LED yo-yos out there.
So did you have like an engineering background?
No, I work in IT. I'm a computer nerd, not a programmer, not an electrical engineer. Just taught myself all this. I was like, well, how can I put a light on a yo-yo? And I just started looking at all the smallest things I could program, and just looking at all the LED light strips. And I've gone through several iterations. I've actually got a whole box of stuff here, different versions of everything I've made and parts. And so it's been a long process to figure out what worked best and what was balanced. And there's a lot of little LED projects, but they're not really circular, or they wouldn't fit right in a yo-yo. They'd be too big, but yeah.
Well, let's see what you came up with.
Yeah, so this is the LumaYo, and this is the version that is going to be for sale on Kickstarter, except the chip's going to be a little bit smaller because I can reprogram this chip for different light modes. But I do have some other versions here. But yeah, you hold it down, and so other LED yo-yos, they don't have a button to change modes. Let me turn this other light off. They don't have a button to change modes. So this one has a button, so you can change through all these different kinds of modes, and I'm still finalizing the color modes. And it also has a power switch, so you can control whether it's on or off. A lot of them, the other yo-yos now have a centrifugal force switch where it only turns on when it spins. So this one has a switch, you can control it on and off. And it just has a bunch of different fun modes that the other yo-yos don't really have. They're just like normal, one light or two lights, and you can't control it. This one also has a port in the front where you can easily just plug it in to charge it. It's got a LiPo rechargeable battery, super high powered. I did a battery test the other day, and it lasted 7 hours while it was running before I fell asleep. So I don't know the official length of time it'll go. But yeah, so just...
So is this going to be LEDs on both sides, or just one side?
Oh, no, there's LEDs on both sides.
Both sides?
For sure.
Cool. And they don't talk to each other. You turn each side on, and so you can have like independent, like you can have different sides.
Correct. Yeah, they're completely independent. The electronics are completely standalone on each side. I have thought about, running a wire through the middle, but we haven't quite got there yet.
Yeah.
If I put all the features into this thing I wanted to, I would be working on it for another year.
You've been working on this for a few years, right?
Yeah, I've been working on it since 2015. I built my first one and started taking it out to music festivals, nightclubs, and that sort of thing for around 2015, and it's just been a work in progress. And I came across this circular design most recently. But yeah, I've got several other designs that I've been working on. I actually made one that was vertical across for a while. Let me see if I got one here. Um, but yeah, and actually during the course of this project, I found out that you can yo-yos don't have to be circular. See, here's a line that I had put on there. Um, that was an early version. But yeah, I found out that yo-yos don't have to be circular. They, as long as they're balanced uh, this radially. I don't know how to say it. So you could have an H-shaped yo-yo or something, and that's some other stuff.
You're saying the lights don't have to be circular, or are you saying the yo-yo itself doesn't have to be circular?
I almost think you could make a yo-yo that wasn't a circle as long as it was balanced
Hmm.
across. And that's because I had the light mounted in the middle, up and down on one of them, and it worked. It spun fine. It was balanced fine.
Hmm.
Just stuff I'm experimenting with.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Uh,
so
so let's talk about the body there. It's a
yeah,
wide yo-yo,
it
right?
is a wide yo-yo. Yes, it's very wide. I've used. Uh, at first, I started by modifying um, other yo-yos, and most of them that I tried modifying, the lights wouldn't fit or they were too narrow, so they weren't as stable. But this yo-yo is designed from scratch. This is a completely new yo-yo. I don't have the measurements in front of me. I want to say it's like 50. Um, it's like 55 by 57 millimeters, maybe.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's pretty stable now, and I can give it a throw if you'd like.
Yeah, absolutely. I was also wondering before you do, what is the material of the yo-yo?
Yeah, so it's acrylic. I had looked into doing Delrin, but Delrin we're trying to keep the weight down,
Yeah.
and Delrin was going to weigh too much. But yes, it is an acrylic yo-yo. The circuit boards sort of act like weight rings
Hmm.
on the outside, so they help keep it stable. Um, yeah, and it's got a battery inside. But yeah, I designed the circuit board. 3D drafted the yo-yo. These are the circuit boards that I had made. Let me turn the light back on here. But yeah, I did the whole thing from scratch. So
Yeah.
I had to teach myself how to design a circuit board and all these LEDs and all that.
Well, let's see it. You're about to throw it.
All
I
right.
want to see
Oh,
it
that's
go.
fine. Here, let me take my headset off real quick. All right. So here's a throw of the LumaYo. Let me turn this light off. And that's just on a static color mode. It's on a static color mode right there.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, it's super bright. I don't want to say it's the brightest LED yo-yo there is because I haven't really compared every one out there,
Hmm.
but it's certainly among the brightest. And these are LEDs have come a long way in the last 4 or 5 years. One of these LEDs has a built-in microphone. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of different modes in this program. It's going to come with set modes at first, the first version. I had thought about putting it into the program full, but not quite there yet. Like I said, I'd still be working on it for another year if I added everything to it.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely a great first step. Yeah, that's a solid yo-yo, the LumaYo. And as of when this video is online, it should be available on Kickstarter. How much are you asking for?
Definitely. So there's going to be some early birds that are going to be listed for 80, and then the normal price is going to be 100. And the Kickstarter goal is actually really low. It's based upon me selling 100 LumaYos, which seems low and kind of high at the same time because it's only going to go for a month. So I would have to have 3 or 4 orders per day. Um, But we'll see how it goes. I've been having people tell me for years that I should make this and start selling it, and so here I am.
That's so cool. And just I guess one more question. Do you have any strobe modes?
There is. Let me go through here. That's a black and white mode. Let me turn this light off again. That's a blue and white mode. I've got a kind of hard to see because it's so bright in the camera, but that's actually purple and green right there. That mode is a rainbow that goes around, but when the yo-yo's spinning, the rainbow kind of goes together, and it does look kind of trippy. And then that one just flashes through all the colors at the same time. I can do a strobe mode. I've actually been thinking about that, but the modes aren't quite finalized yet.
Yeah.
For the final product. That's actually why this one I can take the chips out and reprogram them.
And will backers be able to reprogram them?
Not at this time.
Okay.
We'll see what the future holds.
I mean, that's a pretty advanced thing. There's no need to launch with that.
Right. And there's it hasn't been finalized yet, so it's open to suggestions. The Kickstarter won't ship. The Kickstarter is going to run through the end of September, and they'll start shipping. It'll take about a month to order them, so they should start shipping November, December. But they're as yet to be programmed, and so I'm open to suggestions for different modes.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Louis.
Excellent. Thanks for having me, Doc.
Yeah. And I will share a link to the Kickstarter in the doobly-doo below, as well as any other information I can share with LumaYo on Instagram or wherever. So check out for that. And thanks everyone for watching. And I forgot to say thanks earlier to all my sponsors. PopCast is a crowd-sponsored show, so huge shout out to Greg Knowles and all the rest of the folks over at patreon.com/DocPop who help sponsor these shows. We'll see you later.